And share some news from my side. Before that, I wanted to share with you a story that I usually share with my lot of my coaching clients, and it goes like this. There was a farmer in old Japan, and a poor farmer, and he had one horse for his farm and a couple of other cattle, etc. And one day, his horse ran away. So all the neighbors and all his friends, family came and said, "You poor thing, I don't know how you will manage because your horse has run away." And the farmer said, "Maybe." And the next day, that horse came back and brought with it another wild horse, right? So now he had two horses to help with him on his farm. And again, once again, his friends, his family, everyone came and said, "Wow, you lucky thing. Look at now you have two horses to help you. It must be so much easier for you right now." And he said, "Maybe." And the next day, his son was trying to ride the horse. He had a young son, and he fell and he broke his leg. And once again, his well-wishers, friends, family, they came and said, neighbors came and said that, now what will you do? Because your son could have helped you in the farm, was helping you in the farm, and now he can't help you anymore. Um, you poor thing. And he said, maybe. And the next day, the Imperial Army came because they were recruiting young men for the war that was going on that time. And they were looking for recruitments for young, able bodied men. And because they found his son to have a broken leg, they couldn't recruit him. So, his son got saved in a way. And once again, his neighbors and his friends and family, they came and said, "Wow, you lucky thing, your son did not get enlisted and now he can be with you and he can be safe." And he said, "Maybe." So I share this story with you and I leave you to interpret it just the way that I do in my own coaching sessions, because it drives home an important point of us not being actually aware and not ever knowing what's going to happen in the future or what's happening now and what its connotation is going to be like, whether it's going to be good or bad, in absolute terms. So in whatever is happening right now in the world, it's terrible in so many ways. But exactly what's going to come out of it, what's going to happen, things are extremely uncertain, and we are all grappling with it. And it's not easy living with this kind of uncertainty. Most of us have never dealt with this. It's extremely nerve-wracking, right? But at the same time, it's like the farmer said, you never know what comes out. I mean, what if, as and when this phase passes, what opportunities come, how things pan out, you will never know that, right? So that's the kind of attitude that helps us to remain grounded and at peace, especially in times like these. Move from reactivity and uneasiness, right? Otherwise, we are in that negative loop, to and also trying to control each and every aspect of our life, which is simply not possible, right? That's not practical. And move to more peace and calm, to being more balanced and grounded. In other words, there is a word called equanimity, right? And it's a beautiful word. And it is all about this, that keeping your heart open, having a spacious heart, having that kind of sense of balance, which helps you to deal with what we are going through right now. And there are three things that I wanted to leave you with today. Number one is knowing that you have a choice. You have a choice in terms of how you respond. You have a choice in terms of cultivating equanimity, which means that you have a choice to remain calm and grounded, or find or practice that, practice how you can remain calm and grounded in the midst of raging storms, right? And not being getting carried away at all times. So you have a choice. Number two, uh, everyone is on his and or her own journey, right? Whether it's our children, whether it's our parents, whether it's anyone that we love for that matter. And too often I find, in fact, this came up a lot in the group coaching sessions that I did recently on mindful, on stress, managing stress and anxiety. And that how do I control other people's behavior, right? How do I'm very worried for my parents, I'm very worried for my neighbor or my friend or my loved ones, and how do I ensure that they are safe, from COVID-19 or whatever else the case might be? How do I ensure that they are not in any harm? Or they listen to me all the time, right? I'm in this city and they're in some other city, but you can't really control how another person will behave, choose to behave or respond. And all you can do is guide them, support them, and be there for them, whether it's your child or whether it's someone else that you love, right? So that's the second thing, that knowing that everyone, realizing that everyone is on his or own her journey, which you have no control over to a large extent. And number three is that there are beautiful ways of practicing this equanimity, of accessing this inner calm that you possess deep inside. Because without this kind of peace and calm, if a lot of my clients have health issues, right? That's why they come to me. I'm a health coach. Um, and but I know that if they do, their mind and body are interconnected. So if they are not working on healing their mind, they cannot really heal their body in the truest sense. So that's where the third point comes across now, in terms of finding ways to increase awareness. And one of the beautiful ways of doing that is through a guided meditation that I take them through. It's called Pebble meditation. So the first one was knowing that you have a choice as to how you can respond. Number two was realizing and accepting that everyone is on his or her own journey. And number three are various tools that you have at your disposal of, uh, you know, increasing your awareness about this topic. And one of the ways is something called Pebble meditation, which, as I was mentioning, I take a lot of all my clients through. And you can listen to it, you can do it. I have a blog post where I discuss all this in more details. It's on my website aninditarunta.com. If you go through the blog section, you will find all the my latest post. It's on equanimity, and at the bottom of that is the guided meditation, audio meditation, Pebble in the Lake. You will also find it in my podcast, which is available on Spotify, which is available on Google and iTunes, Apple iTunes. So check that out. And it's called Nourish, Heal, and Connect. And then once again, the episode is called Pebble in the Lake. So you can go there and listen to it. I would love to hear from you. If you drop in a line, if you would like to work with me, share this message, share this video if you find it would help someone else, share the podcast episode if you think that would help. It's called Pebble in the Lake. And just drop in a line in the comments. I would love to hear from you and see how this has sort of helped you. And I will be back every Friday at 4 o'clock. So I'll be back next week with some more news to share. Love to hear from you. Bye.